Okay, so hello all and welcome to this video where we'll see the concept of planning and operational variances and how to solve such questions based on logic instead of remembering any special formula as such. So first we'll see the concept, then we'll go to a question from Institute's module. Then at the end I'll give you one more question for practice which you can then solve and let me know the answer. So under traditional system of standard costing, what we do is we take standards which are set at the beginning of the period, and then we take actual figures which we get at the end of the period, and we compare these two. If you observe, every variance is difference between standards and actual, either standard price, standard hours, standard quantity, actual quantity, and so on. So except fixed overheads expenditure and fixed overheads volume variance, because fixed overheads do not depend on output, every other variance is difference between standards and actuals. But this traditional approach does not consider one thing. See, what might happen is, for a product, let's say we are talking about direct material variances right now. Suppose we thought that at the beginning of the period, we thought that price of the raw material would be, let's say, 20 rupees per kg. Okay, based on this, we set the standard. Then during the year, because of some events, let's say some unforeseen events like some strike or some shortage of raw material which could not be foreseen, price of the raw material increased directly by, let's say, 100%, and it become 40 rupees per kg. Okay, because of such reasons, let's say the price went up to 40 rupees per kg, and then actually we could purchase the material at, let's say, 38 per kg because of good buying practices or maybe our relationships with suppliers, etc. So what will happen under traditional system of standard costing is that we'll compare this 20 with this 38 and we'll get an adverse variance. Okay, we'll get adverse variance of 18 rupees per kg, which is ideally wrong, because this 20 was set as standard, that is correct, but whatever we did, we could not have achieved 20 rupees. We could not have achieved 20 rupees because 20 was not the market price when we actually did things, right? When we actually produced, when we actually purchased raw material, 20 was not the market price. So that means it makes more sense to put responsibility of only difference between these two on the purchase manager. Okay, understand? It makes more sense. What happens is, this is price variance, right? Under direct material price variance, the responsibility of that is put mainly over purchase manager or purchase department, let's say, because it is their responsibility to buy raw material at proper prices. Now, putting 18 rupees per kg adverse variance over purchase department is wrong, because purchase department did not plan for this 20 rupees per kg. Okay, they tried to do their best and in fact they saved 2 rupees, right? So can we say that this 20 rupees per kg and this 40 rupees per kg, this difference arose because we could not foresee the events, because we could not plan properly. Okay, because maybe we did not know, that may not be our fault, or it may be, we don't know. But one thing is sure, that did not arise at the time of purchase. This variance arose at the time of planning. Okay, because we planned for 20, we did not know it would go up to 40, and this variance actually arose at the time of purchase, that is when we were actually executing the production or purchase of that raw material. So under this approach, under planning and operational variances approach, we try to divide our traditional variances further into subparts. Okay, now let me erase this and let's try to give this some formal names. Okay, let's say okay, let's say the standard that we set at the beginning, which was 20 rupees per kg. Okay, that standard is called as ex ante standard. Okay, ex ante is before the fact, before start of the period, the standard that we set was 20 rupees. Okay, this was the actual figure. Actual. Under traditional variance analysis, we take difference between ex ante standard and actual figures. But what we should additionally do in this traditional and planning and operational variances situation is that we should also revise this standard at the end of the period. Now at the end of the period means what? Understand, this 40 rupees will will judge this at the end of the period only. At the end of the period, based on situations that actually existed in the period. Okay, not based on current situation. Now understand, the month is over. Okay, the month is over. At the beginning of the month, we thought 20 rupees per kg would be the price. But during the month, because of some events, price went up to 40 rupees per kg. And still we purchased at 38. Now at the end of the month, we'll think if we had purchased properly, at what price could we have purchased? Okay, what was the best possible price, which was 40, because 20 was not possible. Okay, so we'll try to revise this ex ante standard, which is called as ex post standard. That is standard which is calculated at the end of the period. Okay, we'll try to revise this standard, so we can also call this as revised standard. And then we'll compare this revised standard with actual figure to get actual variance which can be uh, allocated to purchase department. Okay, not this 20 to 40 difference. Now what we'll try to do is, in traditional variance we take difference between these two, right? So in planning and operational, we'll divide that difference and we'll take difference between these two first and these two later. That's all. Okay, the same thing is in the case of quantity. Okay, if quantity that we set at the beginning of the period was, let's say the standard quantity was 1000 kgs of raw material, but our production process underwent a bit of change in between. Let's say we changed our production process to be more efficient. Okay, obviously we could not have foreseen that, because maybe we thought about it later. So at the beginning of the month we thought that we would need 1000 kgs. Then after the month started, we could improve our production process, and then our revised standard quantity was only 800 kgs. Okay, and the actual quantity that we used turned out to be 900 kgs. Now in this case, if we calculate traditional variance, which is difference between these two, then that will come favorable, because instead of 1000 kgs we used only 900 kgs. But if we analyze it further, if we dig deeper, then we would realize that it is not favorable actually. The difference between these two is because of planning. Why? Because while planning we thought that 1000 kgs would be required, but afterwards when our production process got improved, we knew that we could have done it in 800 kgs only. So this will be like ex ante standard, this will be like ex post standard, which we'll know after end of the period, and then difference between these two, that is ex post standard and actual. Now if you see, instead of 800 kgs we use 900 kgs, which is actually coming to be adverse, right? So traditional variances can be a bit misleading if we don't sub-analyze them further. So we'll call this planning variance, and the variance which actually arose during operations will be called as operational variance. Okay. Similarly, in this case also, just a second, planning and operational variance. And similarly, in this case of price variance also, we'll call this variance as planning variance, because it arose because of bad planning, and or maybe not bad planning, but we did not know at that time, so wrong planning, right? And this variance arose because of operational reasons. That is, we could have purchased at 40, but we actually purchased at 38 only, which is favorable. So let's try to see how to solve questions based on this. Just understand the concept. If you have understood this concept, then it is very easy to apply logic directly instead of remembering any formula. Obviously we must know formula of basic traditional variances. Let's just revise once. What is material cost variance? Standard cost minus actual cost. Standard cost minus actual cost, which is standard price into standard quantity minus actual price into actual quantity. Material price variance, which measures difference between price, is standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. Material usage variance is difference in quantity multiplied by standard price. Okay, so let's go to a question. It is first question in SCMPE module in test your knowledge. This same question, exact same question, is also there in AMA module. So old syllabus students can also, this question is also useful for AMA standard costing chapter. Okay, so let's read the question carefully first. Managing Director of Petro KL Limited, PTKLL, thinks that standard costing has little to offer in the reporting of material variances due to frequent change in price of materials. Okay. PTKLL can utilize one of two equally suitable raw materials and always plans to utilize raw material which will lead to cheapest total production costs. Makes sense. They have two options and they always try to utilize the best one, cheapest one. However, PTKLL is frequently trapped by price changes and material actually used often provides after the event to have been more expensive than alternative which was originally rejected. That means what they want to say is generally what happens with them is what material they select, that is according to them that is the cheapest, but after the end of the period it generally happens that that material turns out to be more, more pricey than the other one which they rejected, right? During last accounting period, to produce a unit of PTKLL could use either 2.5 kg of PG or 2.5 kg of PD. Okay, they had two raw materials, PG or PD, equal quantities required. PTKLL planned to use PG as it appeared it would be cheaper of the two, and plans were based on a cost of PG of 1.5 rupees per kg. Okay, so let's note the information first. They planned to use PG, okay, and cost of it was 1.5 per kg at the time they were setting standards. So what type of standard is that? This, correct, at the beginning of the year, that is ex ante standard. So ex ante standard price was 1.5 per kg because they selected PG. Next, due to market movements, actual prices changed, and if PTKL had purchased efficiently, the cost would have been PG 2.25 per kg and PD 2 per kg. Okay, if they had purchased efficiently, that means can you think about what kind of information is this? Is this actual? No, because they are saying if they had purchased efficiently, that means this is standard which was determined at the end of the period. So this is ex post standard. Okay, ex post standard price of PG was 2.25 per kg, and we'll come to PD, but let's also note down ex post standard price. In fact, we can also call this revised standard price. So let me call it RSP, okay, which was 2.25 per kg. There is one additional information that they have given is PD could have been purchased at 2 rupees per kg. So just like they were saying in second paragraph, that generally they select wrong material, right? So after the period is over, generally their choice proves to be wrong. So let's note this information, see if it is useful somewhere, that PD could have been purchased at rupees 2 per kg. Let's see if this is useful to us somewhere. Next, production of P was 1000 units and usage of PG amounted to 2700 kgs. So that is actual quantity used 2700. So EQ is 2700 kgs. What do we need more? SQ and AP, right? Fine, that's fine. At a total cost of 6480. So cost is going to be 6480 for 2700 kgs. So calculate how much is it per kg. 6480 divided by 2700, that is 2.4 per kg. Okay, so actual price is 2.4 per kg. Let's go to standard quantity. Standard quantity is always for actual output. So how much did we need for actual output? Actual output is given. Production of P was 1000 units. So actual output was 1000 units. And if you see first line of third paragraph, they have said that they could use either 2.5 kg to make 2.5 kg of either raw material to make 1 unit of P. So 1000 into 2.5, so standard quantity is going to be 2500 kgs. So if you observe here, there is only revised standard price, no revised standard quantity, but this information is extra. Okay, so what to do with that, we'll see. Let's try to map this just like we mapped the above chart, this chart. Okay. Under traditional variances, what would we do? What was our original standard? 1.5. What was our actual? 2.4. This is for price variance, right? So under traditional variance, we'll take difference between these two. So let's calculate traditional variance first. So traditional price variance would be standard price minus actual price, that is 1.5 minus 2.4 multiplied by actual quantity, which was 2700 kgs. So calculate how much is that. It is 242430 adverse. Okay, because price is more. Traditional usage variance, let's see how much it is. Usage, it was supposed to be 2500, but we used 2700, so that is also adverse. Sorry, 2000, it was supposed to be 2500, we used 2700 at standard price of 1.5. So how much is that? Check. 300 adverse. Okay. Cost variance we can calculate either by formula, or let's take total of this right now. So 2430 adverse plus 300 adverse is going to be 2730 adverse. So this is our traditional variance analysis. Okay. Let's see where this traditional analysis fails and why this approach is better. Okay, planning and operational approach. So let's try. Now we'll take again 1.5 and 2.4, but we'll subdivide it into multiple parts. Let's say 1.5 was our original standard, which we can call as X and T standard. 2.4 was our actual. But now there is a revised standard price also. Okay, what had they given? That if we had purchased efficiently, we could have purchased the product at 2.25 per kg. We could have purchased this raw material PG at 2.25 per kg. So when will we find out about 2.25 per kg? We'll find out about 2.25 per kg at the end of the period, right? That is, if we had purchased efficiently, we could have purchased at 2.25. So that is like our ex post standard. So our ex post standard is 2.25. Now ideally, as per planning and operational, we'll take difference between these two. Okay, and that would be fine. But in this particular question, they have given some extra information. If we use that information, we can get some extra analysis about our variances. Okay, let's see why. They have given that if we had selected correct raw material, see, our choice turned out to be wrong. Okay, we should have chosen PD because PD was cheaper, right? PD was only 2 per kg, but still we chose PG. So we could have done this at 2, right? We could have done this instead of 1.5. We could have done this at 2, but instead of 2, we did it at 2.5, and even we could not do it at 2.5. So actual turned out to be 2.4. Okay, so let's try to analyze these figures now, and then we'll see why this 2 would be. Why this 2 would provide us some further information. So now we'll take difference between these two. Okay. Let's try to analyze this difference and this difference. This is difference between original standard and revised standard. So both these are coming from planning stage. That is, our planning went wrong. Okay. You can also see that we should have planned for PD, but we planned for PG. So that is fault of planning department, not of purchase department. And even this is fault of planning department, because if we had selected correctly, then we could have purchased it at 2, right? But this is purely fault of purchase department, because if they had purchased efficiently, they could have purchased at 2.25. So this is purely operational variance. Let's even try to subdivide it into controllable and uncontrollable. Now see why this is important. We planned for 1.5. If we had selected correct material, and if we had purchased efficiently, both, that means assuming if we had not done any mistake, can I say still we could have reached 2 and not 1.5. Okay, however efficiently we operate, we can reach maximum up to 2. Below that we cannot go, because as per ex post standard, 2 was the minimum price of PD that was possible. Because see, 1.5 was not possible, it was not realistic, right? Because we did not know when we were setting X and T standards what would happen. So this part is uncontrollable. Why uncontrollable? Because we had no control over this. Whatever we did, this 0.5 we could not have recovered. But this was definitely in our control. If we had selected correct material, if we had selected correct material. Correct material is if we had selected PD instead of PG, we could have got everything at 2 rupees instead of 2.25 rupees. So this was purely controllable. Okay, that is our fault and maybe planning department's fault, not still purchase department. And this is purely purchase department's fault, which is controllable because I mean while purchasing maybe they did something wrong. Instead of 2.25 they got 2.4, right? So additionally we can analyze them into uncontrollable and controllable. This is why we took this 2. Otherwise this 2 was of no use. Okay, why is this 2 rupees useful? Because of that 2 rupees PD price we can subdivide this planning variance. Okay, now understand this entire variance is planning variance, but because of that 2 rupees we can bifurcate that planning variance into uncontrollable and controllable. Fine, so let's calculate the variance actually now. Fine, let's see. 1.5 and 2, both of these are standard. See, what is formula of price variance? First of all, this is price variance, right? What is formula of price variance? Standard price minus actual price multiplied by actual quantity. Now understand, up to these 2 points, okay, difference between this and difference between this is not difference between standard and actual. This is difference between first standard and second standard. Okay, that is first, I mean ex ante standard and ex post standard, right? So if we are comparing standard and standard, then we should not multiply by actual quantity. We should multiply it by standard quantity only, because then otherwise it will not be comparable. We cannot take standard price minus revised standard price and then multiply it by actual quantity, because that is not relevant, right? So let's multiply by standard quantity here. Let's multiply by standard quantity here also, because this is also standard minus standard. And here we'll multiply by actual quantity, because this is our actual price variance. Understand? This is the actual price variance that will charge to purchase department now. Okay, so let's calculate the variances. Let me erase this formula. Planning and uncontrollable will be 1.5 minus 2 multiplied by standard quantity, which was 2500. Okay, so 1.5 minus 2 into 2500, how much is that? 0.5 into 2500, 1250, right? So 1250 adverse. Then planning and controllable, this is also standard quantity, so 2500. 2 minus 2.25, so 0.25 into 2500, which is 1250 ka half, 625, still adverse, because this is more 2.25. The material which we selected had more purchase cost. Fine. Then operational and controllable, this is our actual variance. Actual means this is also actual. Actual variance is variance that will charge to purchase department. So 2.25 minus 2.4 into actual quantity is 2700. Just calculate this and tell me how much it is. 405 adverse. 405 adverse. This was material price variance. This is material price variance. Let's go to material usage variance. Okay. Let's go to material usage variance. Material usage variance, standard is 2500, actual is 2700. This is ex ante standard, this is actual. They have not given any ex post standard for usage variance. That means 2500 was possible. So for usage variance we cannot calculate any we cannot calculate this variance in any more detail. We just have to take difference between these two, right? What is formula of usage variance? What is formula of usage variance? Standard quantity minus actual quantity into standard price, right? But now understand, this is 2500 minus 2700, but our standard price is not 1.5 now. Okay, we revised our standard to 2.25. So instead of standard price, we'll now take a revised standard price, which is 2.25. Again, we'll have to calculate this. 200 into 450. 450 adverse, because we use more quantity, right? So this is the bifurcation of total variance into planning, operational, controllable, uncontrollable. This, if we want, we can call it controllable. In fact, this also we can call controllable, because we don't have any other information. So let's assume that it is controllable. Okay. Will this be operational planning? Operational, because there is no, I mean, there was no fault in planning. There is no ex post standard, right? So this is operational, and if we want, we can call it controllable, operational and controllable, right? I mean, we have assumed, we don't know whether it was controllable or uncontrollable. What were the reasons behind that? So let's go through this again once. Under planning, okay, how we can cross verify this? Our total variance was how much? 2730, right? Let's check whether total of all this comes to 2730 adverse. 1250 plus 625 plus 405 plus 450. This 450 from below. Check, let's check. 1250 plus 625 plus 405 plus 450. Is it same? 2730 adverse, okay? This is still 2730 adverse. So it is just that we have calculated variances in a different way. We have sub-analyzed the traditional variances to make us better understand how much part was controllable and uncontrollable, how much part was fault of planning department, how much fault was part of actual operations. Okay. So what we do, let's just quickly revise once. Under planning and operational variances approach, we try to find ex ante standard, ex post standard, and then actuals. Okay, instead of ex ante and actual, we insert ex post standard between. Ex ante is standard calculated at beginning, ex post is standard calculated at end, actual is actual. We take difference between ex ante and ex post first, then ex post and actual. Okay, in this way we divide total variance into two parts. This ex ante to ex post would be planning part, and ex post to actual would be operational part. This planning part might be controllable or uncontrollable, like in this question. Okay. In other questions, generally you won't find such this 2 rupees information. There will be just ex ante and ex post and actual. But in this question specifically, planning part we can divide in two parts: controllable and uncontrollable. And this operational part, that also we can calculate separately. Okay. For usage variance, in this question there was no ex post standard given, but if it is given, we'll follow same process. We'll write it in the middle between 2500 and 2700. Okay, we'll write ex post here, and then we'll do this. Okay, in the same way. First this variance and then this variance. This variance will be because of planning, bad planning or good planning, and this will be because of operations. Okay. So I hope everyone has understood the concept. If you have any doubts, you can reach out to me always, anytime. Okay, fine. So I'll give you one question for solving. Now that has ex ante and ex post standards for price as well as usage. Okay, so just go through this question. Let's read it, and then you can solve it by yourself. You can try it. If you get an answer, put it in the comments. I'll let you know whether it is correct or not. Standard Limited requires cloth to make shirts, which is its main unit of sale. Due to a recent change in designing of the shirts, it now needs 1.65 meters of cloth per shirt, whereas its earlier estimation was 1.5 meters per shirt, right? So this 1.5 is ex ante or ex post? Ex ante standard. This 1.65 is ex post standard because of some change, right? However, the cloth to be used is also now changed. New cloth costs 100 per meter, whereas old one cost 120 per meter. So that also changed. So again, our planning went wrong. Okay, this 120 was ex ante standard, which we had decided. This 100 is ex post. Okay, just understand that it is ex post. Nowhere to write ex post. Actual data is given now. Actual cloth used in past month turned out to be 18,000 meters to make 10,000 shirts. So we can find actual price from that. Actual quantity is given. Actual cost turned out to be 14,40,000, right? Calculate variances for the company using traditional approach as well as an approach which further classifies them into planning and operational stage variances. Okay, so can you try this question by yourself? Do let me know if you get any answers. If you have any doubts at all, feel free to ask me. And I hope this video was useful. Don't remember any formula specifically for this. I mean, preferably, because every question is going to be different. Now, if you remember formula, still this question that we solved is a bit different than other questions, right? So you have to apply your own logic. So this was a good question. So you have to apply your own logic. So try to go logically instead of going by formula. So I hope this was useful. If you liked it, do like, subscribe and share. Thank you.